Then went to a movie last night and ate $29 at the concession stand.
So where'd you get, a small bag of popcorn and a small Coke?
That's right. Ridiculous.
Second down and 5. Boy, if the Aggies could put one in here, obviously it changes the complexion of this football game. Stephen McGee again on the option play, turns it to the inside and wisely holds up a little bit. He's going to have another first, get a gain of 8 on that one. Want to remind you to join ABC for one of the
play action. You've got 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Les Caning, you've got to be aggressive. You're already down 14, need some kind of momentum. They've been able to move the ball. They've just got to finish one.
That safety back there, that's the guy that you're watching on the play action.
They got 37 out of 40 in the red zone. Amazing numbers for a team that struggled offensively. The pitch comes back, and that's Lane, and that's what we were talking about. He just does not have the speed to turn it. Babino moved in. Rashad Babino on the hit, and a loss of 1.
And I think the offensive game plan without Courtney Lewis has to change.
Absolutely.
You've got Lane is a good young back. He's 265 pounds, but he is not going to outrun the safeties like Courtney Lewis.
But you change it, and then you change maybe into the strength of Texas, right? And then all of a sudden you're asking your offensive line to get up there to go right at Texas, and that's pretty hard to do.
See, Lane's got those touchdowns, but most of those have come obviously on the short drives when you get down there inside that 5-yard line. He's got to stay out there now, though, with Courtney Lewis out of the football game. A second down and 11 for the Aggies. They send that man in motion to the left side, looking to the corner, got a man open, and incomplete. And I mean wide open for almost the entire route was Bennett. He'd like to have that one back.
He's got to throw this earlier. Young quarterbacks always wait just that one click. Throw it right now. And that gives Bennett plenty of time to adjust to it. Now, if that's a corner route, Bennett's got to run that more to the corner.
He does. He stopped running.
Yeah, he came straight up the field. He's got to run that back. I'm not so sure that's that bad of a throw by McGee. I think that was a bad route.
That's a tight end that's not disciplined. It stays tight most of the time. You put him in motion. Can he run and understand the passing game?
Yeah, because he had to get to the corner, and he wasn't getting there.
Well, they've got a big third down here. They are 1 for 4 in third down conversions. They want to take the timeout. Stephen McGee coming over. We'll continue to remind folks that Reggie McNeil, the regular starting quarterback for the Aggies, out of this football game, he's not even dressed. So the chance that he was going to have to play here today in the matchup of the two great Texas high school quarterbacks who went on to play at one at Texas and one here just doesn't come to fruition, and that's a shame.
And you know what? We're watching two things here today, really. We're watching the Texas Longhorns try to continue a pace for the national championship, and we're watching, as you said, as a Heisman voter, we're both up here and we're thinking, hey, can he win the Heisman today and take it back from Bush?
It's such a great story here in the state of Texas back in 2002, and it's really a crying shame that Reggie McNeil could not play in his final game, because in 2002, these were the guys, maybe in the entire country. And the Houston Chronicle got these guys together. They drove from Lufkin, Texas, and Vince is from outside of Houston. They brought them together for this, and it's amazing how young they look in that photo. And it's just a shame that the state of Texas can't see two of their own play in this game.
And it's been up and down. It was last year, as recently as last year, when Reggie McNeil was uplifting Vince Young, saying, hang in there, you can throw the ball, you're a quarterback. Now it's reversed.
Amazing, isn't it? Hey, while we got a moment, I want to have in television. We've worked with them all year. It's been a pleasure and an honor to our camera people and our technicians and our tape people. Thank you for a great year and happy Thanksgiving. That one's going to be blocked at the 15-yard line. Babino got his hand up on that one.
Well, we saw Vince Young, the fourth-year junior, not see a linebacker dropping off into coverage earlier. Now it's the freshman's turn to do the same.
I always am interested, you know, when a linebacker drops, if they go to the wrong zone, having a linebacker to know where the angle is of the pass that's going to come.
And that's the one thing that they've worked on so hard. The defense from Texas has said ever since Gene Chizik got here, it's 6 inches to the right. You've got, and it's that specific.
31-yard field goal attempts. Pegram is on. He can kick them. 14 out of 18 so far on the season. That one is up. Had to go to the left side, and he got it there, and the Aggies are on the board. So he is now 15 out of 19. 307 points now in his career. It's what he's put up. That is 6th all-time in the Big 12.
I've known Todd Pegram and the Pegram family for years. We've been neighborhood friends and all. And I used to watch Todd take his bicycle in 5th and 6th grade. He'd go to the park, and he had a bag of footballs over his shoulder, and he taught himself how to kick. And it's a great success story of seeing a young man with a goal and a mission, and he's had a tremendous career.
And he's #2 all-time in the Big 12 behind Chris Stockton. He's now got 56, so he's right on the heels of Stockton's 58 career field goals for all time in the Big 12.
There you see him moving up in that category with the field goals per game at 1.4. So they do get on the board. They convert after getting down into the red zone territories. 14-3. Texas still on top, and the A&M defense got to go back to work here. It took 3 minutes, 57 seconds, 12 plays, 67 yards covered, and a field goal conversion.
That seemed like an old school drive at 3 minutes 56 seconds compared to what we've been seeing for Texas at a minute and a half average.
Hey, look, let's be honest about one thing. Right now, A&M is playing a better football game than about 99% of the people watching or doing this game thought. I mean, that's a fact.
Yep.
They may be behind here, but and it's a long way to go, but they're hanging.
And one of those was a result of a turnover down in the red zone.
Yep. And the other one they might have scored on, but they had a big penalty that cost them a first down deep into Texas territory. All right, this kickoff is angled to the far side and not very well. It goes out of bounds somewhere between the 20 and 25 yard line as they kicked it from the right side of the field over to the left side.
What kind of kick is this? It's watch the kicker come into the ball. It's kind of a straight on. Does he have a square toe? And then it looks like he was trying to kick that out of bounds. That was I've never seen anything like that. Well, and he comes straight at it, and then he just snap hooks it over to the left. That's Richie Bean, who's the punter and the kickoff.
But wouldn't you want, if you're going to do a punch short kick and have touch, put Pegram in there?
Yeah.
That was.
And there he's being
very odd.
I think he's being talked to there. I'm not sure that's what they had in mind.
No.
It gives Texas great field position here as they will start at their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Well, that's another mistake of some sort. Charles is in the backfield. Young out of the shotgun. Young looking downfield, and that is intercepted at the 50, 45, 40, and down to the 35-yard line. Melvin Bullitt. A deflected pass by Appel, and then it was hauled in.
What an amazing play by Jackson Appel. He's got broken ribs. He was not able to play against Oklahoma. He played with the rib for about 4 weeks, and before Texas Tech, and an excellent job of reading it come over the top. You've got to feel good for Appel. He's had so many injuries. His last game comes up with a humongous breakdown.
And you know what, though? He gets a break because he went through Thomas. That's why David Thomas, after the deflection, thought that he was looking for the flag.
Well, he
little pass interference just before the ball gets there. He goes through Thomas, and Thomas is standing around like, hey, where's the flag?
Yeah, but it's senior day. You got to let that one go.
Yeah.
That is the 9th interception thrown by Vince Young, and the second that has been picked off in the backfield after that deflection. What a big play. So the Aggies are right back out on offense. McGee running that option. Could be a pass. They want to go quick. Thrown all alone. Caught at the 10. Touchdown! Jason Carter! Mercy! Jaworski Lane. We said he may not be able to run the quick cuts, but obviously he can throw the football. How about that pass off your back foot?
And when he threw it, I thought he overthrew it by a mile, and Jason Carter finished the play.
They're showing the Longhorns how to score quickly. Now a bobble on the attempted point after and just thrown away. Don't want to do that either. A bobbled snap. So they get the touchdown. We'll see how the snap figures in. It is 14-9 on the Huffman coming on to do the kicking. So we're changing kickers here almost as fast as we change possession.
Well, they're lining up. He's standing like he's going to do an onside kick. They're just going to scoop it, I think.
Another short, high kick, fair catch called for, and it will be taken at the 32-yard line. This may result in some problems here today as Rothbro is able to haul that one in, but we're seeing great field positions for Texas because of short kickoffs here by the Aggies.
I think 2 weeks to prepare has gotten in the Aggies coaches' heads. There's too much. There's too much stuff. I mean, listen, the trick play worked, but just go back to the basics.
I think when you do something like that, you're saying our kick coverage unit isn't as good as their kick return team, and we don't want to give up a big play.
And that may be true. That one was a little better executed than the one before, obviously.
Vince Young comes back out. The interception that he gave up, his 9th of the year, is converted into a touchdown. First down at 10, be the final play of the quarter here. Up to the 30-yard line, and now the Aggie defense is going, watch this. I mean, this is the worst that the Longhorns could have hoped for in this game. The door is open. It's an opportunity for the Aggies to go after the biggest upset of this football season. And right now, against this number 2 ranked Texas team, they're doing pretty well. We'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching. Thank you very much, and we join all of us here in extending our greetings to you. And a great continuing week of rivalry football, and a good one here. Texas has got the football. Second down, 13. Young back. Looking over the middle. He's going deep, and there's some bump right there, but no. I'm looking. No flag. That was Cosby, who was the intended receiver. When he cut back in, he ran into the defender.
Well, they're both running the same area, though. I think it's a good no flag. And that was a nice throw by Vince. He knew he didn't have it over the top. And Cosby, who's a true freshman, has really come on. Guy didn't even play high school receiver in high school. Went on to play baseball. He's really come into his own.
He was a quarterback in high school and was an outstanding also defensive back. He'd come up and hit you. But the guy has great speed, and they're trying to get him back into that football instinct.
Young 3 for 8 and an interception thrown so far in this football game. This is not the kind of game Vince Young wanted to have. Looks like an audible going on the line. The A&M defensive team wanting the fans into it. They're all standing and roaring here. Long yardage play. Young's got a lot of room to run, chooses to throw, and gets it at the 50-yard line and into Aggie territory. Cosby got that one. Red-shirted freshman, 22-yard gain. And that'll be enough for a very big first down. Why, it's the crowd and the defense.
This is a terrible pass defense for Texas A&M. I want to give you an example of why. There's a fire zone where they drop out from the middle of the field. You see the drop in the middle there, 97. He takes away the crossing route. Now, there's a zone coverage. You got to match up. You got to squeeze him. Be closer to the receiver. Don't just hang out back there.
And part of the problem is they've had so many guys go in, they have no confidence. And they have not been aggressive. That's the one thing that the A&M coaches have said. Our defensive backs have lost their aggressiveness.
And a first down at 10. Ooh, that one was almost bobbled on the end around midfield. 45 and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That is Billy Pittman. A 9-yard gain for Pittman.
And for those around the country that, if you haven't seen Texas play this year, and I know everybody talks about that great offense out there in Los Angeles, and I don't mean UCLA. There are so many weapons on this team for Texas. Pittman is a guy that you almost forget about, and then he gets the ball and say, oh, that's right, he's as fast as anybody out on the field, maybe faster. They just have so many guys that Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, can just dial it up. He just dials it up.
21 Longhorns have scored this season. Pittman, who doesn't even start, has got 5 TDs on the passing department. A second down, short yardage. Can they get the loss? Got him chased back to the 45, and they are. They're going to pin him for a big loss. Taylor had nowhere to go, and again, Johnny Jolly, who's had a tremendous first half, moved in for a 7-yard loss.
And this defensive line, as bad as the secondary has been this year, has really come on lately. And Johnny Jolly, who had a little bit of an ankle strain against Texas Tech, has been one of them. Red Bryant, another one. Bryce Reed, and listen, up front, they're still a good defense. It's just been the secondary that's been terrible.
Taylor needs to learn as a young runner, though. Going backwards 15 is not going to get it done. This is the Big 12. They can run on defense.
Yes, they can.
Big third down play now. 3 out of 4 third down conversions. This is going to be a long one. Third down and 8. Young will work. Back at his own 45. Young's looking deep. Down the near side. Oh, that could have been intercepted at the 35-yard line. That was Danny Gore. Looking down at Mother Earth, wondering, how did I not get it?
You know, we saw a really nice pass the last series from Young when he threw on time.
That was
and
late.
And that was late. And he just, when he starts thinking about it, it's not as efficient.
It's just like all of us. He's better when he turns his brain off. Just go by reaction.
I did that at 11 o'clock local
That's
time.
why you're having such a great broadcast.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the effort. This punt will come from the 40-yard line. Good job by the defense of the Aggies. And it will force Texas to punt the ball. It'll be back at fair catch called for at the 15-yard line. Right on it, Marquise Carpenter. Carpenter's got it. The Aggies get the football. A 30-yard kick. Keep in mind, this Texas team's number 2.
And it was that tragedy both Mac Brown and Dennis Franchione said changed this game forever. It used to be a little more hatred, a little more. Now it's more of a respectful thing because of the tragic events of the bonfire.
That was in '99. First down and 10 here. As the Aggies get it back, they are trailing. But they have more yardage, believe it or not, than Texas. 137 yards for the Aggies, 111. Time ticking away here. And got it off in time. There's that pitch, dangerous up to the 20-yard line and the 22. I'll tell you something. When you're a young quarterback first start, Stephen McGee, and you're asked to run this, you got to make some quick decisions that you haven't made before. Time for our Aflac trivia question. This week, here it is. The Longhorns, currently ranked number 2 in both football and basketball. How many schools have won a national championship in both sports in the same season?
Can I give my hint?
Yes.
Think of 1947 and 1973.
Or you can think of our brains in motion during a game. comes up to the same number. A second down and 3. The ball at the 22-yard line. 3 receivers to that wide side. McGee will work out of the shotgun. Quarterback keep 25. And he's down at the 29-yard line. He's got a first down. A 7-yard gain. When he handles the football, this crowd here literally stands up. And they are excited about this young quarterback.
And watch the blocking on the left side out here. Watch how they've worked together, the teamwork this thing.
And that's not really been a strength. You know, they had a really good job by the left tackle, Corey Clark. It didn't take much. But as the defender came up, and this offensive line, we've known that the receivers and running backs have been in and out, but the offensive line was in and out earlier in the year, and they finally found the guys they wanted to settle on and started to see it.
And Dominic Steamer, who was injured earlier, is now back in the football game. He is number 74 and was involved in that blocking. A first down and 10 for the Aggies as they move out of their own territory. Again, the keeper, and this time the linebackers and linemen are keying. That'll be a loss. Brian Orvalco moved in and put the hit on him, and he is going to be tagged for about a yard loss on that.
And we were talking about the depth earlier that Gene Chizik has started to develop. Arakpo, a freshman, and they just early in the year they would just kind of let him play, let him play, let him play. And the other day when I met with Chizik, he was saying, and I said, tell me some guys that have really grown through the year. And he said, Arakpo, he's going to be a star. We had to let him play some and get through the rookie blues a little bit. He's been very productive for them.
McGee, the quarterback, 9 carries, 28 yards so far, as he's held that ball a number of times. Then he's done this. Up the middle he goes to the 40. Watch this, one man to beat, gets a block, and will be brought down at the 22. A 48-yard run by Stephen McGee, who's trying to turn a miracle here at A&M.
Greg, you mentioned about the blocking up front. This starts right here. Yemi Babaloa, he's the quick tackle. Watch him dip inside and clear out the linebacker. Knocks him right on his keister, number 44, Bobineau. And he was just finishing the block.
They're going to have to change the defensive adjustments now. They're going to have to take the quarterback out of the option game. They're going to have to force him to pitch the football.
He can run, and he is a very confident starter here today. Reggie McNeil not playing, bad ankle, not even dressed. So McGee starting his first game. Up the middle on the fake, the pitch, trying to cut back in, nowhere to go. Texas had that one lined up. 1-yard gain. Michael Griffin again moved up from that free safety position with a hit. Boy, he is good. 42nd start for Michael Griffin, and he is their leading tackler. He comes up in a hurry.
That's exactly what you just said.
Get up there. Yep. If somebody's beating you, running the option, if it's the pitch back, you got to take him out. You got to make the adjustments. Now, A&M needs to be smart enough to recognize that that's going to happen too.
Now they've got to adjust, and maybe those quick slant patterns or something across can be open. And in motion near side where they slot it up, 2 in the back. They run the option. Again, he's going to try and find some room. He will get some yardage, but only up to about the 16-yard line, a gain of 5.
You know, there's such a difference for a quarterback being second string and coming in off the bench like he did against Oklahoma. He's had nearly 2 weeks to get ready for this start. And I think we saw earlier in the game the difference in nerves and everything else that goes through a young quarterback's head. We watched him during the entire, everybody's coming up, patting him, saying, it's almost like just leave the guy alone and let him just be calm. And he's finally found a little bit of rhythm here in the second quarter.
And there wasn't a surprise that McNeil wouldn't play to the team. So they've been prepared here for a week or so that it would be McGee.
Timeout will be taken. McGee has had 11 carries, 82 yards, and A&M wants the timeout. Obvious
route.
Very big play coming right here. A 3rd down and 4. They'll take the field goal if they had to, but they would want that first down. They want that TD and a lead here if they can get it.
That's Bennett.
That's Bennett, and they've got Lane and Leon Brandon, who's come on to play in the backfield. Again, the pitch play up to the 10-yard line to the end zone. Touchdown! Brandon Leon, who just came in for the injured Courtney Lewis. 16 yards. There's a flag in the end zone.
Craig, they're going to go for 2. I think this is a mistake. I think at this point in the game, if you miss it, you're chasing your tail the rest of the day. You wait for 2 till the end of the game.
But you know what's in his mind right now, ringing loud and clear? Clemson.
Oh,
Clemson, beginning of the season, everybody said, why didn't you go for 2? You're at that. And, you know, this is different. It's early in the game. Take the points.
Unsportsmanlike. Number 21.
Now, Texas should take this on the try.
On the succeeding kickoff, the touchdown. Good.
Little excessive celebration going on there in the end zone, apparently, but at this point, they'll take that. They got the touchdown. They've got the lead, 15-14, and now it looks like they're going to try it for 2. He had just come on to play because their leading runner, Courtney Lewis, got injured in the first quarter and had to come out of the game apparently with a thigh bruise. So Leon came on to play, and he gets the touchdown on the option. Now for 2.
Clemson is the right thing to say, but I think this is the wrong time in the game. If it was late third,
now.
Yeah, this is the wrong time to do this.
They are up by 1. They're trying to go up by 3. 2-point conversion attempt out of the shotgun. McGee with 3 receivers set to the right side. Again, the option's going to be run. It's going to be fumbled, and they won't get it. They will not get it, as Jaworski Lane could not hang on to it. So they go for the 2-point conversion and don't get it. So they've missed a point after and a 2-pointer.
So now you're chasing that 1 point for the rest of the game if the game stays close. And the other thing, Craig, you feel like you kind of lost. To me, that's a momentum killer. You've just had an incredible score, and now you've lost a little bit of that momentum.
And you know what? Psychologically, that is a downside to this going for it here. But watch the quarterback, McGee. They're going to take McGee out of the equation. He's got to go and get the pitch to the sideline. Courtney Lewis in the game is a difference maker in the option close like this.
Yeah, the speed of Lewis is severely missed.
They went 7 plays, 85 yards, 3 minutes, 51 seconds is what it took to get there. All the way back to the 20 where the ball is. Richie B now has come out to do the kicking. Texas, this is a chance for a great return in this Texas team. They've got some people who can run the football. That's why the Aggies have been trying to keep the football away from them on these kickoffs. Another one that's slanted to the sideline. That'll be handled at the 25-yard line, up to the 40, 45, and out of bounds. That's Taylor, who takes it out of bounds, and the Longhorns have it back. Well, when you get into these kinds of games with great rivalries, Coach Fran, what do you expect to see? And literally, he jumped up
javelin toss
and threw the javelin toss for a touchdown. Now we'll see what Texas does in responding. That'll move it into Aggie territory. Fumble! It is recovered by A&M. Unbelievable! On the very first play, they turn it over. The strong safety came up on the hit. Charles fumbled it. Vince Young was the only Longhorn close to it and couldn't get it.
Dixon comes up from the safety position. You see that he gets there. The helmet will go right to the ball. At some point, Young's going to pull that thing, but you see the hat goes right in on top of the football. Young almost gets it, but Aggies come up with it.
And we've talked all game long about all the injuries and everything else. Alton Dixon, not a redshirt freshman, true freshman with an unbelievably nice hit. Helmet right on the ball, knocks it out.
The 7th fumble that the opponents have recovered against Texas now from near midfield. A first down and 10 for the Aggies, who continue to run this option. And that'll be at the line of scrimmage and nowhere beyond that. Maybe a gain of 1. Leone on the carry. Let's get out of Vince Welch.
Is used to this, though. They've had plenty of comebacks the last 3 years in a row over Oklahoma State. They hung in against Ohio State, a tough one on the road, so don't be shocked. Texas will be just fine.
A&M's running up the offense. How about this? A&M has doubled the offense of Texas so far. Looks, big rush, fumbles the football. Oh, what a loss is going to be on this one. That is Robert Killebrew, who drove in, put the head down. The fight for the football goes on there. But it is going to be A&M with a recovery as Lane got on it, but a 22-yard loss.
And get ready for Robert Killebrew to be the next great Longhorn linebacker. This guy got the starting job against Missouri and has never given it up because of plays like this.
Yeah, I just wonder, though, if the forward progress of the quarterback McGee had not already occurred and that the ball was not fumbled and should have been spotted at where the contact was made.
Greg James, I think you're exactly right, because that's where they have put the football. So wipe out the fumble. It did not occur. It'll be a 3rd down and 31. There are the numbers. 25th in the Big 12 for linebackers, and Killebrew involved in that hit. So a big 3rd down and very long yardage here for the Aggies in their own territory at the 27-yard line. Quarterback keeper, a lot of room. Now the quarterbacks get up, and he'll be taken down at the 38-yard line, nowhere near the original line of scrimmage, as Bobineau and Killebrew hit him.
And that's a good call. Les Canning, you know what? You're so backed up. You had a big negative yardage play. You've got the field position game you're trying to play right now with a 1-point lead. That's a good play to bring out your and the punting has been just sensational this year for Brantley.
You know, in the movie we saw the water boy come back and really dominate the football. The guy's name is Vincent Young, and that's what the Aggies need to be worried about right now. Vincent Young is going to come out here and eventually take over the game, if it's going to happen at least for the Longhorns.
Bradley again back at his own 25-yard line. This time a booming kick. Aaron Ross at the 20-yard line, and Ross, that's about it. He'll gain a couple on the return, but no more. These Aggies are fired up right now. 43-yard kick, 3-yard return. Listen to the score. A&M up by 1. Downstairs, about 83,000 surprised fans at this moment as Texas A&M has the 15-14 lead. And the Texas offense averaging 528 yards a game. So far 116 and out yardage by the Aggies to this point. But a long way to go. And the man who's going to have a lot to say about that, back in a quarterback, Vince Young, on the handoff. They come straight over the middle. 35 up to the 40 down the near sideline midfield. And into Aggie territory. Taylor on the carry, and a big first down, 30 yards on that one.
Well, you can run so many plays out of this shotgun. And this is just the old counter tray. Anybody who ever watched the Washington Redskins when they were winning all those championships with the Hogs, that was their bread and butter play. This one run out of a crazy looking formation. You expect Taylor's going to stay to the left, and he comes back and follows his pulling guard and tackle.
And with the speed that Taylor has, it doesn't take much. You know, this guy can block.
Great last 4 games, 402 yards and 8 touchdowns into Aggie territory on a first down at 10, 6:32 to go in the half. Out of the shotgun again. Vince Young throwing over the middle. That'll be completed. And a gain of about 4 on that one, as it's hauled in by David Thomas, the tight end. Our athletic trivia question: the Longhorns currently ranked number 2 in both football and basketball. The question: how many schools have won a national championship in both sports same season?
47 and 73 were the years I gave you.
And
those are the years that it didn't happen either.
The answer's 0. How about that? No school has ever won a basketball, football, and 1A in the same season. And the Longhorns, they're 2 teams right now ranked number 2. Second down at 5. Young on the carry. Hasn't done much of this today. He won't get the first. Well, he might. He has had limited carries, surprisingly, today. Only 3 for 18 yards. Prior to that one, Warren the hit.
Boy, if you want to watch a guy get after it on the offensive line for Texas, watch the left guard stutter. Just watch him finish this block. His father, Dave, played at UT, went on to play for Denver, and he's just nasty. He never stops fighting. He's a guy who's got a great future.
Plays with a flat back, and he plays with leverage. You get underneath their pads, you're going to own them.
Yeah.
They are 3 out of 5 in conversion. Short yardage, 3rd and 1. Melton in the backfield. He's their short yardage carrier. 35-30. Cornerbacks better get there. They drive him out of bounds just shy of the 15. Melvin Bullitt. And boy, he went down hard over there on the sideline. A 21-yard gain. And gets right back up. Henry Melton, freshman, 270-pounder.
There's no penetration here. And what happens on short yardage goal line, it's good or bad. No penetration, and you get the bounce. And there's enough speed in Melton that can take advantage of that.
Although at 270 pounds, I don't want to see him go out of bounds. Come on, lower your head. There's another 3 yards in there. At 270, there's another 3 yards in this run.
He's got a good strawberry, like he went into second base now.
Yeah, that concrete over there, they need to get a better surface.
Texas moving the football, 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. Young looking, goes to the near side, a 1 and 2, and he's sacked. Back of the 27-yard line, Chris Harrington, his 4th sack of the year, and a 10-yard loss.
And this defensive line, earlier in the year we did that Clemson game, and Carl Torbush said that they had 9 guys in depth, Harrington being one of them, and you just haven't seen it all year.
Can you believe that we would say a covered sack? They actually picked them up in the secondary and did a nice job there.
For the 117th ranked secondary, that's saying something.
You saw Harrington come right over Taylor on that. Now Harry Young's going to carry this one up to the 15. Fumble! A&M, it's loose. A&M signaling they think they got it. The officials say no, it's the other way. Wow, that was Swede. The split end for Texas, who I think came up with that football under the pile, and a big recovery by the Longhorns.
And one of the adjustments that Texas needs to make is locking that ball away, Craig. And listen, I know it's actually a shoulder pad,
but they're not
by
focused.
The safety Melvin Bullitt, but a shoulder pad should not knock a ball out.
Right now, this high-powered Texas offense is not in sync.
Nope.
And they're not together. And they need to blow off this Heisman Trophy conversation over there. That's what they're worried about with Vincent Young. They need to worry about winning a football game.
I think Sedline is having to come out of the football game, their center. Sedline really took a bump and was having a hard time getting up. They brought the trainer out. Now you may have a problem with a snap here. Dallas Griffin is the backup center, and they'll go under center for this snap. Vince Young, a 3rd down and 7. This is a big time. Will Allen has come on now, moved from guard to play center. Allen's at center. Dropping back is Young, 3rd down, flats, wide open, nobody there, touchdown! Ahmad Hall, the fullback, a 14-yard TD catch.
Linebackers just absolutely did not get into coverage. Justin Warren, everybody's up near the line of scrimmage showing blitz, and they just don't get back.
Ed, wouldn't you put somebody in pressure in the middle over the center? You got a brand new center in there, and look, nobody. The center has to do nothing. He comes off the bench and did 0.
Well, and the linebackers were showing blitz, but did not come. And if you're going to fake it, at least get out in the coverage, and they didn't either.
So the pass completion puts the Longhorns back on top, 20-15. Nobody on that one. Pino comes out to do the kicking. It is up, and it is good. So Texas responds as they have done all season. They are undefeated for no reason. They go 77 yards, 7 plays, took 244. Hall takes it in, touchdown. Today, dislocated elbow, broken rib, and about 4 other injuries. But as he and his coach both put it, there's no way I'm not playing today.
And could not breathe. He went out to warm up for the Texas Tech game, and he went up for a tip drill to catch the ball, and the bone in his ribs moved. It was already broken, but it moved, and he couldn't breathe.
Hall takes in. You know, Hall had only 1 reception on the year before that touchdown catch. So obviously the defense was not watching, and Texas took advantage of it. That'll be picked up at the 8-yard line. Jason Carter for the Aggies. Carter will move it up over the 25 to about the 27-yard line, where A&M will take over. 1st down and 10. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary.
Well, I don't think any. Texas is going to start figuring some things out. The thing that they need to know in the option, he's more likely to keep it and duck under than he is to pitch it. So let's just make sure we're forcing him to pitch it.
Stephen McGee in there at quarterback. As we said, Reggie McNeil not even dressed for today's game. The high ankle problem. Carried that one straight ahead, trying to move those linebackers and cornerbacks in to open up that outside again. 7-yard gain right there, Jaworski Lane. Coming up, Capital One halftime show. I did not say mediocrity. I would not have used that.
No, you said it.
But I said it, but I didn't write it, and I'm not going to say it's mediocrity.
Well, they've got a big one today after this ball game to see who, if Colorado wins, to play Texas down in Houston next weekend.
Down on the 3-minute mark here to go in the first half on this second down play. Again, they're trying to go straight ahead. A little bull move right there, I'll tell you, and that's a first down. The third effort carried Robert Killebrew, and they get the first down. That's Jaworski Lane. He can run.
Well, it only took 2 series to realize that Courtney Lewis was out, and we've got a different running back.
Yeah.
Remember, we were saying get him to the don't get this one to the edge.
Yeah.
Your edge runner's gone. Let this guy run straight ahead.
And there's nothing wrong against this Texas defense if you can do it. 2nd and 7, 3rd and 2. Be patient. Hold on to the football.
Well, and you know Vince Young's not going to stay in this little mini funk he's in for too long either.
They move it back into a double in the backfield. Fake the option. Go straight ahead again. That'll be a gain of about 3. And again, Jaworski Lane doing the carrying. Killebrew. 2 of them are getting to know one another very well.
How excited do you think they are in Happy Valley right now? Penn State, number 3 in the BCS.
Yeah.
Do you think they're pulling for the Aggies?
I think that entire student section showed up. They're probably showing it with all their white shirts on. That's it's so good to have that back for me. To see that game against Ohio State, that night game was just spectacular.
A&M rushing 27 times for 151 yards so far in the football game, and equally important, they've been able to keep the football away from this high-powered Texas offense. A second down and 7. McGee back. Big rush, big hit, completes it at midfield. That'll be a first down if they mark it where the ball was caught. As DeQuan Mobley, and it is a first down. The fans were booing. They thought they were going to mark it back.
Well, as Craig has to book out of the booth to get down for the halftime, this young man's starting to come into his own. We've already seen him in the running game. We saw him in the Oklahoma game, Gary, look very good. But now he's starting to calm down a little bit. He had coming out of high school, he was recruited obviously for his arm. He shocked a lot of people with how well he runs the option, but now that was a wonderful throw with pressure.
He's got 3 receptions, 3 out of 11. Both quarterbacks have thrown an interception today. McGee now with a first down and 10. They got plenty of time here on the flats. And caught and into Longhorn territory. 45, and a good gain on that one by Bennett at 6'7", 248. You better not tackle high on Bennett. A 6-yard gain. Near the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet player of the game. 1 for each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Really nice job by Martellus Bennett, a true freshman. After he broke the tackle, getting out of bounds. No timeouts left. So you've got plenty of time if you can get out of bounds or pick up the first down to stop the clock, but you just have to, every second counts.
Couple of receptions, 18 yards for Bennett, a second down and 3. Aggie fans on their feet here, hoping the Aggies can get a score up before the half. Fake brings it down, throws long in the corner, man open at the 5-yard line. That is Kerry Franks. That is the 3rd time today McGee has had a receiver pretty well open on a long ball.
He's thrown the ball a little flat. Remember earlier in the year we saw Reggie Ball of Georgia Tech, and he threw the ball almost out of the stadium. That's probably a little too high, but these balls, if you're going to drive it, you have to underthrow it. He's trying to lead the receiver, and he's just not quite getting enough air underneath the ball for the receiver to make the adjustment.
And what's surprising me about all of that is that this Texas defensive back,
there's guys running by them,
are getting beat. I mean, they are a great backfield defensively. There you see the numbers: 4 for 13, 52 yards, and interception. 3rd down and 3. Quarterback keep. Got to turn outside. Got to get up over the 40. Dives towards the marker and is very, very close. McGee knew where that marker was, and he went for it with his helmet.
You know, Craig talked about it at the open of the game, that the team really rallied around Stephen McGee. It was pretty obvious to everyone around here that Reggie McNeil, unfortunately, was not going to be able to play his last game. And Jackson Appel was telling me a story about McGee, that when he first, during camp, you know, you can't hit the quarterbacks for obvious reasons. And he would actually run at the defensive backs and go hit them. and they'd get in fights and everything like that. But this team really rallying around a young man who's just has been waiting his turn to try to do things like this.
He's their leading rusher right now with 73 yards on the day, and he got that first down, 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Big rush back at midfield, and again throws it away. Made sure he threw it over the line of scrimmage this time, though. And a big rush put on by Frank Oakham, a freshman All-American out of that nose tackle position.
Well, the Texas coaches want intentional grounding. They've already got one. But I think that McGee was about one step outside of the tackle box when he threw that away. They changed the rule a few years ago to mimic the NFL that as soon as the quarterback leaves the pocket, as long as it goes beyond the line of scrimmage. And that was another heads-up play, though. This McGee, a young guy who's making some very headsy decisions.
First start, only a little backup work on the season. This is not backup work against number 2 Texas. They are in Longhorn territory, but not within field goal range. They are trailing. McGee back out of the gun. Big rush in the flats. Caught and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Couple of steps taken. It'll be a 6-yard gain for Pierre Brown, his first reception. He's moving the football.
Yeah, good long throw, too. You know, that ball was on the right hash. In the NFL, the hashes run equal to the just come right out of the goalpost in college. So when you're on the right hash and you throw to the flats to the other side, starting to get an idea of the ability of Stephen McGee.
3 out of 8 third down conversions. Texas tough to convert on. 29% third down conversions for opponents in the year. 9th play of this series. It'll be a 2nd down here and 5 to go. Over the middle and incomplete and almost intercepted. Terrell Brown reached in and almost picked that one off, incomplete.
Well, and this is a tweener distance right here. Todd Pegram, his career long is 45. This would be over 50. And Lane Newman is coming on. We saw this against Oklahoma. The major difference here, Newman is a left-footed kicker. Pegram is a right-footed kicker. And they had not a bad snap, but it was hard for Branyan, the holder. And again, Pegram, the starter, you kick the ball about 10 more times than the backup guy. Now this is Pegram may not have this leg, but it's just so much different for the snapper and holder to do it with a left-footed versus right-footed kicker.
A 51-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is going to be short. No good. 51-yard attempt, so they do not get a point out of that drive with 55 to go before we get to the half. So with Texas a couple of timeouts left, Mack Brown's got time for his offense to operate. So it remains 21-15 with Texas on top as they could not convert the 51-yard field goal. Surprise being that was only the 2nd attempt field goal wise that Lane Newman has had this year. We saw the other one on another attempt at long yardage. Now can Texas get on the board? They've got time here to move the football. Young back over the middle and incomplete.
I really think, nice play by Jackson Appel, I really think the A&M coaches are outthinking themselves. Listen, I know it's been a difficult year, and they've had to plug more holes than any coaching staff should ever have to plug with injuries. But I think if Todd Pegram can't kick a field goal that long, you either go for it on 4th or you punt the ball away. Now you've given the ball to Texas in good field possession with 2 timeouts, and they get the ball back to start the second half. This is not a good position for the Aggies to be in.
Aggie defense, which has struggled all year, dead last against the pass in Division I, and here they got a Heisman candidate sacking at the 20-yard line. Michael Bennett. Texas has timeouts to work with. They've got 2 left if they want to use them. A 13-yard loss on the sack. This much maligned A&M defense, their head defensive coach and some assistants are all in jeopardy of losing their jobs. It's been so bad.
And Johnny Jolly does a great spin move on Studdard, the left guard, flushes him out of the pocket. Michael Bennett, Martellus, his brother, finishes it off, and Mack Brown says, I've seen enough. We're not going to make any dumb mistakes at our end of the field. I think it's a good decision by him.
Texas has the lead, but by a lot less than what everybody around the nation thought it would be, except maybe for the Aggies. And Murray County's team has just been magnificent. And let's get downstairs to Vince. Vince, go